Hey everyone, welcome back to Essence of Ebony. If you are interested in watching part one, how I colored this hair, make sure you continue watching. So I'm starting out with 30 volume developer, Blond Brilliance. Lord forgive me for that. I put that dye on there, the blonde. I was going to use that, but I changed my mind. But instead, I'm just using the bleach because it lifted where I wanted it to go, so that was fine. And then I'm using the brown HiColor, and I'll leave that stuff in the description box. Here, I'm just weighing out the developer because it states that you need 2.5 ounces. Sorry, that's the wrong side. 2.5 ounces of developer. So I'm just getting ready to weigh that out. And since I'm using 2 boxes, I'm going to go ahead and use 5 ounces, which that was more than enough. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and, oh yeah, so actually here I'm just squeezing out the dye. I cut it at the end and then squeeze it out the top. But yeah, that's it. Just go ahead and continue watching.
Request my chariot, get ya. The doors open. Take the hot road and hop in. First impression, you OPN. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot, get ya. The doors open. Take the hot road and hop in. Monarch butterflies, you should open up. I'm trying to put your...
Yeah, so I just pretty much stirred it until I got to this consistency. This is where I see that it was best. And just want to make sure everything is completely blended. Like, you definitely want to do that. And here I'm just parting out the section that I plan on bleaching because I want to have like the blonde streak. So yeah, I'm just going to part that part out and then dyeing the rest, of course, brown. Because as you see in the front, it's a blonde streak in the front and then brown in the back.
Open up. Open up.
Okay, so here I'm just sectioning off the back of the head so I can go ahead and dye the colors. And what I'm doing is working my way. I'm actually like mixing it up. Sometimes I'm going from the top, from the bottom. I don't know why I didn't have like a consistent way of doing that. Sorry, I lost a little footage. But I had started dyeing on the side, and I'm basically, like I said, starting from either the top or the bottom, trying to be consistent. But like I'm doing it pretty fast, so it doesn't really matter like if I start at the top or if I start at the bottom. And then once I get the color on, I just go ahead and comb through. And I always make sure you make sure you comb through because you want to get it evenly distributed. Because if you don't, it's not gonna come out right. And you just definitely want to make sure that you are combing this part out. Like, definitely do that.
We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot, get ya. The doors open. Take the hot road and hop in. Open up, open up. Shut it down like a Macintosh. Open up, open up, open, open.
Okay, so yeah, make sure that when you are dyeing that you lift up the track. I didn't show that in the beginning, but make sure you lift up and get at the bottom so that you don't have like it's not dyed underneath. So that's very important to like as far as like with dyeing, you want to make sure you comb, and you also want to make sure you lift up the track and get dye underneath there as well. Yeah, so I'll be back.
We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot, get ya. The doors open. Take the hot road and hop in. First impression, you OPN. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot, get ya. The door's OPEN. Take the high road and hop in. First impression, you OPN. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging.
And y'all do not mind my bleached up gown. I'm like like when dyeing and stuff like that, you want to make sure you wear clothing that you don't really care about, because you don't know how it's going to be. You may or may not get bleach on you. I'm not bleach. Bleach up for that matter too. Bleach, dye, anything like that. Anytime you're working with stuff like that, you want to make sure that you wear clothes that you don't really care about staining, because you can definitely get yourself in a staining situation.
Going up in smoke, smoking up. Make sure the children in the house, she's inappropriate. The way she's approaching us, I disassociate, exfoliate, the renegotiate. She's closing up, come to visit me. She say that she the loneliest, and it's hard to open up. Open you up like a Pokeball. Open up, tear you out for a Pokeball. Let your emotions waterfall on me. Open up. Open up. Open you up like a Pokeball. Open up. Tear you out for a Pokeball. Let your emotions waterfall on me. Open up. Open up. Need to deep breathe, heart and complications. Open up. Need to reread our conversation. Got me contemplation over our situation. Open up. You OPN. Bitch, you won't BBM. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot to get ya. The door's OPN. Take the high road and hop in. You OPN. Bitch, you won't BBM. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot to get ya. The door's OPN. Take the high road and hop in. Open up, open up. Shut it down like a Macintosh. Open up, open, open. First impression, you OPN. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot to get ya. The door's OPN. Take the high road and hop in. First impression, you OPN. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot to get ya. The door's OPN. Take the high road and hop in. First impression, you OPN. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot to get ya. The door's OPN. Take the high road and hop in. First impression, you OPN. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot to get ya. The door's OPN. Take the high road and hop in. Monarch butterflies, you should open up. I'm trying to put your heart together, found it broken up. Going up in smoke, smoking up. Make sure the children in the house, she's inappropriate. The way she's approaching us, I disassociate. Exfoliate, the renegotiate. She's closing up. Come to visit me, she say that she the loneliest, and it's hard to open up. Open you up like a Pokeball. Open up, tear you out for a Pokeball. Let your emotion waterfall on me. Open up. Open up. Open you up like a Pokeball.
Okay, so now I'm working my way up to the closure, which I forgot to mention. This is actually a 6x6 closure, which I actually, I'm just now starting to use them. I actually really like the 6x6s. Like, I made a bob for myself and I really like it. But yeah, oh, not a bob. It was another wig. I don't know. Anyway, so basically what I'm doing is I just got to the closure part. And right here, you want to be extra careful because you do not want to stain your lace, because once you stain it, it's just stained and really no way about it. So what I'm going to do, instead of using the brush that I was using to like paint the hair, paint the hair dye on, I'm actually going to use the comb, like the little tip of it, and like comb it through. I was going to use a spoolie because I have some spoolies, but I didn't feel like going to go search for them. So I just used like the tip of the comb and just being really gentle. So I'm just starting at the top, and I wish I would have got this at a better angle so that you guys could see it a little bit better, but it's the best I could do. No, I'm just kidding. Next time I'll take that to more in consideration. What I've been doing lately is recording from my back camera, because I'm just trying to get in the habit of doing that, because from my understanding, like the back camera is a lot better. So I'm trying to get that right. But yeah, so basically I'm just being really, really careful, combing it in, and then like, towards the ending, I may use the brush like I'm doing here, but I try to be really, really cautious not to get that lace, because again, this is brown, and you don't want brown lace. Like, I mean, they have brown lace, like lace for closures and stuff like that, but this ain't the brown you're looking for. I promise you, it's not. So be extra careful with any color. It doesn't matter what color it is. Just make sure you're careful. But yeah, I'll be back. Continue watching.
First impression, you OPN. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot, get ya. The door's OPN. Take the hot road and hop in. First impression, you OPN. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot, get ya. The door's OPN. Take the hot road and hop in. First impression, you OPN. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot, get ya. The door's OPN. Take the hot road and hop in. First impression, you OPN. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot, get ya. The door's OPN. Take the hot road and hop in. Monarch butterflies, you should open up. I'm trying to put your heart together, found it broken up. Going up in smoke, smoking up. Make sure the children in the house, she's inappropriate. The way she's approaching us, I disassociate. Exfoliate, the renegotiate. She's closing up. Come to visit me, she say that she the loneliest, and it's hard to open up. Open you up like a Pokeball. Open up, tear you out for a Pokeball. Let your emotion waterfall on me. Open up. Open up. Open you up like a Pokeball. Open up, tear you out for a Pokeball. Let your emotion waterfall on me. Open up. Open up.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just using up all the extra dye that I have left and combing through because I had quite a bit left, not a whole bunch, but like a good amount. So right now I'm just going through and adding the dye, combing it through, making sure everything is covered, making sure there's no patchiness because you always want to make sure when you have extra dye, make sure you just go through and make sure everything looks good and all that good stuff. And I decided to just go ahead and put a little bag over it. And now I'm getting ready to dye the front. I've bleached the front, which I'm using the Blond Bleach, the Bleach Me Blonde. I'm not sure what that's what it's called, but I showed it at the beginning. And I did change my gloves. You want to make sure you do that. You don't want to be doing little stuff like that. And I actually like this bleach a lot because it did lift a whole lot. I will say that it did lift a lot. And I'm going to still continue to use BW because to me, it'd be a waste of money to have to keep buying this for closures and stuff like that because I dye every time I make wigs. Of course, I dye the closure and stuff like that. And to me, that I think that the bucket, I can't remember how much I paid for that. It was like, I don't know, whatever it is, it's too much to be, for that little tub. And that you can go through that pretty quick if you're constantly making wigs. So right now, and I'm not dyeing the blonde. Okay, sorry, I got a little sidetracked. I'm not dyeing the blonde to the roots. I'm kind of like feathering it through so it could look like it naturally went through. So I'm, turning my brush like, was that horizontal, vertical? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, as you see, I'm doing here like the little strokes that way because I didn't want it to be like a blunt, like look like that, like, because that looks kind of weird. So I wanted to look like it naturally just like grew out. Yeah, and then I am going to do that on both sides. And again, you want to always make sure that you comb it through because you don't want any patchiness or nothing weird. You do not want that. Especially right at the front of your head, the front of your head. It's going to look crazy as heck. So make sure you do the little paint strokes both sides, and then also do that. And then when I'm done with this, I'm gonna, as you guys are gonna see in a minute, I'm gonna just go ahead and add the foil and let it sit there, and then I'll be back to show you how it looks.
The doors open. Take that hot road and hop in. Monarch butterflies, you should open up. I'm trying to put your heart together, found it broken up. Going up in smoke, smoking up. Make sure the children in the house, she's inappropriate. The way she's approaching us, I disassociate. Exfoliate, the renegotiate. She's closing up. Come to visit me, she say that she the loneliest, and it's hard to open up. Open you up like a Pokeball. Open up, tear you out for a Pokeball. Let your emotion waterfall on me. Open up. Open up. Need to deep breathe, heartache complications.
Okay, so right here I'm getting ready to add the foil, and I'm letting it sit here till it gets the desired look. And so I'm just gonna fold it on both sides and then fold it up, let it sit there. And I forgot to record the part where I added the brown dye to the root so it could match the chocolate brown in the back. But yeah, that's basically what I did. I feathered it in like how I did feathered it going upwards rather than going downwards like how I did the bleach. I'm not sure if you got that, but I hope you did. So yeah, I just let it sit there for a desired time. I'm not exactly sure how long I left it on because I kind of sat there and let it forget. Because sometimes when I do it that way, like not with the bleaching part, but like as far as the dye, sometimes when you forget, it comes out really good. But I was checking on the bleach. I can't remember how long I left that on there either. Sorry about that. But yeah, so here is how it looks. So if you are ready for part 2, make sure that you tune in this week. I'm going to post it in. I let it air dry, and this is how it looks dry. So if you're ready to see how it looks getting cut and styled, make sure you go ahead and tune in. If you are actually interested in purchasing this wig or getting a wig made like this, make sure that you go ahead and visit my website. I'll go ahead and leave my website in the description box. See you guys next time. Bye.